Today we're going to talk a little bit about designing your resume. So let's talk about the starting point. The first thing you want to do when doing your resume is write down all of the professional experience you have. You can handwrite it, you can type it into your laptop or computer, whatever you want to do. What you need to think about is what tasks have you done and how well have you done them. Example, if you work for an employer that has sales goals, you could put down, instead of just achieved weekly sales goals, you could put increased sales by 10% year to date. And that way there's an actual number and it's not just a task, it's a achievement, okay? The next one is jot down who you are. These are your attributes, the core competencies that you have inside. So caring, compassionate, self-driven, responsible, etc. The third is your technical competencies. And this is where you're an expert or fluent in Microsoft 360, PowerPoint, Salesforce, Office equipment, Google Docs, anything like that. Your education will come next. Well, not necessarily next, but you're going to write it down. Concord Career College, date of graduation, any extra training you've had. Unless you are specifically asked to put your high school graduation date on your resume, I would suggest you don't do it. The date that you graduated from high school will be an indicator of age, which should be irrelevant, but unfortunately it's not. The next thing that you want to do is any recognition or awards. So if you have been on the president's list, if you have been the student body president, anything like that, you'll put that down. And then of course memberships. So this is what your preliminary resume should look like. And when I say preliminary, what I mean is it is all of the information that you had at your starting point. You put it into this version where it's an objective, your qualifications, education, experience, awards, recognitions. I say preliminary because you're going to learn that you're going to change this resume every time you apply for a job. So again, have a look at this. As you can see, it's got different categories. But the first thing on the very top is going to be your name and phone number. Now, if you don't use your email a lot, if you don't have it going straight to your phone, I would not put an email because you might miss something. Otherwise, just put your phone number. Also, hey guys, email. If you have an email that says sexydata5@yahoo.com, please don't put that on there. It should be your first and last name at whatever, at Yahoo, at Google, it doesn't matter. But first name, last name, Stanley Concord at yahoo.com. So let's look at the objective. To obtain a position in a healthcare facility as a medical assistant where I have the opportunity to utilize my skills and grow professionally. So again, this is where you want to put the environment that you want to work in and how you want to use the skills that you've acquired. Okay, now we're going to look at qualification and skills. This is what you've learned in school, okay, or on the job training if you happen to be working as a caregiver while going through school. So either bilingual, venipunctures, capillary punctures, EKG, documentation, preparing exams. This is just a few of them. Scheduling appointments, CPR certification, and perform respiratory testing. So I want you to go back through all of your classes and look at each one and make notes. Now we're going to talk about education. And as you can see, high school is not listed here. There's a few reasons for this. One is the year. It actually provides the potential employer with your age, which you want to eliminate if you can. So unless they're asking for either transcripts or your high school graduation date, I would not put it on my resume. Just put your education from Concord and any previous training. It doesn't have to be a community college. It can be a sales training. It could be any other training. Let's say you worked as a caregiver, so that type of training, anything like that. You just want to be careful that you're not dating yourself. So let's talk about your experience now. Your externship should always go first on this until you get a job, of course, and then that goes on top. But so this one is, let's say, AmeriCare in San Marcos, California. I did my externship as a medical assistant. I was responsible for proper phlebotomy techniques and procedures, venipunctures, anything that I did. Again, we're going to go back to those little notes that you were taking about what you did through each part of your classes. You're going to write in full sentences and explain your responsibilities. And the last section will be awards and recognitions. So if you're on the honor roll, class president, recognized for a 4.0 GPA, anything that can show them that you are exceptional as maybe being responsible, being accountable, staying on task so you're focused and organized, anything that can help them to see that is what you want to put in awards and recognitions. Now we are going to start looking for positions that are available. So you'll go to search engines such as Indeed.com, LinkedUp.com, SimplyHired.com. There's others out there that you could use. You'll fill in the search bar with the job title you're looking for and the location. So in this case, we use medical assistant, Kansas City, Kansas. At the bottom of this, you can see a link. If you want to go into that link, this is an actual job, so you can see what we're talking about as far as what the employer has listed, and that may help for the next slides. So research job opportunities. Again, here's where you're going to look at the entire job description. Okay, match your qualifications to theirs. Don't apply for a job as a new graduate that specifically is asking for 10 plus years experience. Okay, it's just going to go to the wastebasket. Hours. Not all areas of healthcare happen between 9 to 5. If you need a night shift or weekend shift, then don't apply to the Monday through Friday opportunities. If you do not want to work in oncology or geriatrics, then don't apply for that position. Okay? Apply for the positions that suit you best. Research the hiring organization or doctor's office. Now, you can go to their website and look around. What is their mission statement? Remember, you might want to add some of that or incorporate it into your objective. What are the employees saying? Are there any reviews listed? I think it's glassdoors.com has reviews from former and current employees that you can read through. Let's get ready to apply. So let's go back to the resume and the job description that the employers put on. You have your resume, and the foundation has been built by you. You have the job description in front of you. So what I want you to do now, again, is compare yours to this job description. I want you to make changes to your qualifications and experience based on what the organization is looking for, but only update what is true. So do not say assisted in appendectomy if you've never walked into a surgical room. Okay, the employers will find out. Just keep it real and truthful. Use the verbiage that the employer is using. Again, we talked about this a couple slides ago. Phlebotomy versus venipuncture. Okay, if they use the word injections rather than shots, then you use the word injections. Number 5 is check synonyms for words that sound more professional and less negative. For instance, handling front office administrative duties. So somebody can take that 2 ways. I was handling it. I was dealing with it. So that kind of has a negative connotation to it. So what you can do is switch it up and say managed front office administrative duties, operated front office administrative duties, or supervised front office administrative duties. Now, the managed front office administrative duties has 2 connotations to it. Either you managed people and the front office duties as they did them, or you're extremely organized and, hey, I managed to do everything in the front office. High five me, I'm cool. So proof and edit is probably the most important part of a resume. And I know that sounds weird because it should be what your qualifications are and everything. But if you have mistakes on a resume, it will automatically go into the trash. All that says to an employer is, I didn't care enough to reread this thing and make sure it was perfect. So you edit it and then hand it to somebody else to edit it. And if you think that maybe a third person would be a good thing, go ahead and do it. The more the merrier. Don't use templates. When you work in a template and you save it on Microsoft Word as a document, it can look different on different versions of Word. So don't use a template. Now, the only case that I would say it's okay is if you're saving it as a PDF. I highly recommend any document that you're saving to be saved as a PDF that you're emailing or attaching to anything, even the cover letter. So save it as a PDF, and that way it will look exactly the same no matter who opens it. Now you are applying. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit down and you're going to reread that job ad one more time. And you're going to look for questions the employer wants answered. Sometimes they embed little questions that they want to see if you've read the entire job description or if you're just one of those, hit and miss, just throw everything out there and hope that somebody calls you back. So look at the directions on how they want you to apply. There are a lot of job offers or job opportunities where you go through the whole thing and it has a button that says apply, but if you keep reading, the employer says, please email me directly with a cover letter and resume to this. So make sure that you're aware of that. The last thing is, again, are they looking for a resume and cover letter? Are they looking for a resume, cover letter, and letters of recommendation? Make sure you're looking through that too. And then just be thorough. Follow the directions completely. So now we wait. We wait for the phone calls or emails, depending on how you did it, to come in. What you're going to do is you're going to continue to apply to positions that you are suited for. Okay, again, do not apply for a position that requires 10-year experience as a new graduate. You're just wasting your time and theirs. The next thing to do is your voicemail. Make it friendly, okay? You don't want to have music playing. You don't want to have any weird voices, anything like that. You want it to be professional and friendly. The next thing is social media. I cannot tell you how dangerous social media has become in our culture. There is so much on there that people who have had jobs for a very long time have been terminated because of what has shown up on social media or on the internet. So I would say make your social media sites private. Okay, so just nobody can see it unless they're your friends. Then I would let my friends know, hey, I'm looking for work. So don't put any pictures, some crazy picture of me hanging out over the weekend with a bottle of beer in my hand. Okay? Don't post any political messages. Okay, don't take a political stand. It doesn't belong in the workplace, and it shouldn't belong on social media when you're looking for a job. Okay, when you do answer the phone, let's say that you're able to answer the phone, but you don't know what the number is, and you're going to have to answer the phone calls on the numbers that you don't know. Right away, assume it's an employer. Don't answer the phone. Yo, it's me. Okay? Don't answer the phone. Hey, been waiting for you to call. That's not professional. What you're going to do is answer the phone. This is Stanley Kaplan. How may I help you? That's it. Let them talk. Okay? If you're in an arcade, if you're at a movie theater and an employer tries to call, then it's better to just let it go to voicemail. Anywhere where it's noisy and you'll be distracted. Otherwise, pick up the phone and answer calls even if you don't know the number. Okay, now you will want to make sure you know what positions you're applying to. You're going to have to keep some kind of application record of what you're doing. So what you're not going to want to do is say, so Mr. Employer, I've been looking for a ton of jobs. I've been applying everywhere. So who are you again? What position is this for? Oh, well, how much is the salary? Bad idea. They're not going to call you back. So you're going to know ahead of time. So when somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm from Concord Medical Center, you're going to say, wonderful. I've been looking forward to talking to you about the medical assistant position you have on the website, or you have a position available in. Okay? So professional, professional, professional. Okay, this one is over, you guys. Again, on behalf of Concord Career Colleges, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.